Berlin is still techno capital of the world. On paper. The clubs are there, the DJs are there, the infrastructure is also there. Something changed, something specific, something I'm willing to point to, and nobody wants to say it out loud. You would start somewhere, move on, find the next place, move through the city. It wasn't planned, it wasn't a tour, it was the night taking you somewhere. Entry was 5 euros, sometimes even 10. You could afford to take the risk, to walk into something you didn't know, to stumble into a room that changed your life. That's gone. Now entry is 25 euros minimum. At that price you don't take risks anymore. You go to the places you know. You stay, you leave, you go home. The city has consolidated. Berghain is for the OGs and cloud chasers. Sisyphus is for the student hippies. RSO is for the new Gen Z hard techno crowd who wants Berghain but can't get in. Everyone in their box, everyone accounted for. The only way to get that old magic back, that spontaneous stumble into something magic, is if you are already inside the scene, on guest lists, on the secret events, knowing the right people. The underground went underground and took the door with it. Everyone wants to blame the tourists, the expats, the TikTokers, the brand, but that's too easy. The real flaw is simpler. The internet. Specifically the moment where every random person with a Wi-Fi connection decided they have something to say about Berlin nightlife. Not Berliners, not people who grew up in the city. Not people who know the promoter or people from the other side. People who moved here, read about it, experienced it twice, and then explain it to the internet like they studied it at Harvard. That's democratic, sure. Everyone gets a voice. But culture doesn't survive on democracy. Culture survives on values. And values need to be defended. Sometimes in a dictatorship way. The Berliners who built the scene, the ones from the 90s and 2000s, focused on the secrecy, on the coolness, on keeping it real by not talking it. And while they were doing that, the new arrivals were on Instagram, explaining it, packaging it, and selling it. By the time anyone noticed, it was already someone else's story. The most authentic techno scenes right now are not in Berlin. They are in cities with something to fight against. Kyiv or Tbilisi. Cities where the culture exists in direct opposition to something real. Where going out is an act of resistance, not an Instagram story. I have been to Kyiv and I felt it. The rawness that Berlin had in the 90s when the wall came down. The city was essentially broke. The clubs were in abandoned buildings and nobody was watching. That rawness still exists, just not in Berlin. But here's the honest part. Kyiv is a war zone, Tbilisi is politically unstable. That authenticity comes at a price that most people are not willing to pay. Berlin has infrastructure. Central Europe, jobs, connections, safety. DJs and producers from all over the world still come here because it makes sense. So Berlin stays, not because it's the most authentic, but because it's the most convenient. And that, if you think about it, is exactly the problem. Berlin's soul isn't gone, it's just harder to find. It's in the secret event, the word of mouth, the rooms that don't have an Instagram page, the nights that don't end up on anyone's Instagram story. It was always supposed to be hidden. That was the point. The problem isn't that the outsiders found it. The problem is that we let them define it. Stay hidden, stay raw, stay real is not just a motto. It's an instruction. The underground survives by being the underground. The moment you're trying to explain it, you have already lost. See you in the dark.